So, welcome to this video series on how a billionaire's horoscope would look like. My name is Gautaman, a financial astrologer from India. So, in this video, I am planning to share the horoscope patterns um, and my astrological analysis that takes a person towards a billionaire destiny. So during this session, I will share the planetary correlations found in a particular horoscope chart for a discussion perspective and what actually is happening in the individual's real life and how that take them towards achieving a billionaire status. In that context, today I'm going to discuss about one of the biggest tech entrepreneur, um, philanthropist who is well known to all of us. It's none and other than but Mr. Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft. And to make this happen, I probably thanks to internet, which documents the birth details of Mr. Bill Gates. So before I get into the technical details, I mean into the horoscope and palmistry of Bill Gates. Um, we are discussing about the billionaire's horoscope, right? And let's try to understand uh, what features make an individual to achieve a billionaire status during his lifetime. Is it by happens by winning a lottery ticket, or can someone run a lottery business that makes him a billionaire? Or can someone with a vision start a company or innovate something new that is consumed at large set of people by large set of people would make him a billionaire? So I think whether you win a lottery ticket, okay, whether he or she wins a lottery ticket or even runs a lottery ticket business or innovate something new, uh, it all depends upon the bold decision he or she takes and stands for it. Obviously, some level of luck always plays as we are discussing about the wealth status that most people struggle to achieve. A horoscope chart shows us many patterns of planetary placement and sequences that makes an individual a billionaire, that makes an individual to venture into some of the avenues, uh, you know, uh, even at the childhood by using a birth chart of birth chart. I mean, a horoscope birth chart, right? Where we can identify whether such a person is a billionaire or what kind of field he's going to select, how he's going to grow up in his career and all these things, or just he is going to be as a common man, right? uh, I think one thing that differentiates a billionaire from a common man, for our discussion perspective, is that the bold decision and courage to withstand for his vision, right? That something makes a person succeed in his business, which obviously creates wealth for him in the long run. So, if you ask me in general terms, to on who becomes a billionaire, I think he or she will have the ability to bet well and act in the face of uncertainty to create a future which later acknowledged and consumed by large set of people, I mean the society, that makes him popular and wealthy. The wealth stays with him or goes out of him out of his the bank account, or from his his purview is a different scenario. But such patterns could be really understood at a very early stage by looking into a birth chart, and that state of planetary placements and alignments in any horoscope will tell us whether he will go on the right track. As an astrologer, he will be able to, an astrologer can help to counsel how he should move up in his career, what kind of line he is supposed to select, whether they are destined to become a billionaire or not. Um, so let me take you into the Bill Gates palm tree as a the next step, along with his horoscope chart, where I saw a lot of prominence of an intellect whom I'm discussing about, who with his bold decisions took the business, the Microsoft business, to great heights that resulted him to become a billionaire at the later stage. I think any self-made billionaire like Bill Gates is primarily an effective leader, uh, in his space at least. And specifically, if I look into the horoscopes of Bill Gates, I feel that he's a great gambler uh, of his own style, uh, who had the courage to put his time and money on the software that he had a vision on. Okay, and such people bet better than other people in the times they live in. That makes other business people across the world to invest their own bets on that leader or on that leader's software products in order to create the future, so they jointly bring in reality. To lead the desktop market, Bill Gates had to bet on really, really big scale. That's why I wanted to discuss Bill Gates' horoscope here today in this session on how will a billionaire horoscope looks like. As see, but primarily I'm not a fan of Microsoft or of Bill Gates because my profession, I also come from an IT. I'm also an IT professional. I come from totally the opposite side of Microsoft technologies called as Java and its related platform areas. But as an astrologer, once after taking a look into Bill Gates' horoscope, I had a lot of other horoscopes to discuss, but I found Bill Gates' horoscope to be the best to start the series. Um, it is very interesting from the astrological lenses, especially how an intellect places his big bets on his capability and outperforms the rest of the competitors in that space during that times. Yeah, and yes, Bill Gates' horoscope is one of the unique patterns from the astrological perspective. In terms of the billionaire's horoscope, and there are, but there are obviously hundreds and thousands of patterns hidden across the globe. It is hidden across the globe. Uh, but for now, for this session, let me deep dive how Bill Gates' horoscope is pretty interesting on this topic. Yeah. So, so what you see here is, the Bill Gates, palm tree, which I'm giving on the lights right left side of the, the screen. Where you can see his palm, as well as on the right side, I have given the horoscope chart. Uh, and the things which I have given out here are the dasha, right? Dasha events, which is happening since his childhood, and it goes. I have documented till 2043. Okay, and currently he's running Mars Dasha starting from 2018 to 2025. Um, and in this deep dive analysis, I had considered palm tree and the numerology for validation perspective. And then I predominantly I specialize in financial astrology, and predominantly look into the horoscopes. But why I'm considering numerology as well as with the palm tree here is because to validate the horoscope, the day, time, and the year of birth, how it goes with the palm tree, and with the events which has happened in the past, so that uh, we are pretty confident of talking about the past, present, as well as the future events which I have documented here for you to take a look, right? Yeah. And since I am dealing around the wealth creation subject, I may not be going more into his personal details, and I feel it is not essential, and it is immaterial to us for this topic. But we will touch base on his family a little bit, how that becomes really helpful for him, because without a family support, nobody will be able to achieve this kind of a destination, right? So in that aspect, I'll probably cover this thing. And and thanks to the internet, which documents the Bill Gates birth details. And I took this photo from one of the session where he was showing his palm, which is obviously I'm able to make use of here. And you know so first, let's look into the palm in the screen here, right? See, but the first thing is I'm able to see that in this photo, I could very clearly see that the very important lines, right, which is it is very clear. Okay, it's clear and it's deep. It says how strong the personality is for me at the first stage. And then if I look at this line, which I have highlighted, right, it's the heart line, right? And what happens here is the lines are clear, strong, and pretty deep. Okay, and the line of heart, that's how we technically call it. It starts here but, and ends here, right? It ends here very, clearly, and it is very deep. That's what I observed here in this. That line is going towards a Saturn mount. Saturn mount is exactly here, right? The Saturn mount. It's exactly going very close to the Saturn mount. And now look into the right side of the screen in the horoscope, right? I talked about the Saturn mount here. Okay, it's going and touching on that space, and the Saturn, which is placed in the Libra sign of this horoscope, shows that the Saturn is in the exalted sign. So Saturn is well placed and it's in a strong position. Okay, and it is evident that he contributes to the noble cause, but only after he evaluates where that money goes on. Okay, where the money goes on, even when he contributes to the noble cause, he understands how that is being used for a social cause. Such quality is coming from an exalted Saturn, and such Saturn placement makes him to receive the returns in long term, and obviously the initiatives that he takes will pay off only in the long term. So the next one, which I want to discuss here, we call it as a line of fate. Okay, now look in the right side of the screen in his horoscope. The subject, Bill Gates, is born in a Gemini Lagna. Okay, and the Gemini Lagna represents his body, and the Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Okay, which is again placed in the another Mercury, I mean another Mercury's own house, and obviously it is also exalted in its own house, Virgo, and it is strongly placed. The next one, which I want to take through, is the second house from Lagna, right? The second house represents the income source, right? The second house Cancer, the Lord of Cancer is Moon, which is placed in the 10th house. From Lagna, it is the 10th house, right? And the Moon, which is, it is about the mind. Moon is all about the mind, and becomes the second lord of the subject. And the second lord is the house of income, as I said. And when the connection between second and 10th, which makes a person to be a good advisor. That's what the astrological pattern says. And there is a reference that I could see in his biography that in some part of his Microsoft career, he had been a technology advisor, a manager. So being the Gemini Lagna, as well as the Mercury being exalted, Mercury is a planet of communication. He should be an excellent communicator, on across his lifetime. And also Moon as a planet is a dreaming planet. Okay, he has a lot of dreams. Obviously, anyone has a lot of dreams, right? Has a lot of desire. But when you dream big, you need a lot of courage, right? Also, luck is required that create a fortune for a person, to succeed like a billionaire during his lifetime. So let's see how his horoscope unfolds on that perspective here. So let's look at the next side of his palm, right? The other part of his palm. So now you're seeing something called as a small triangle. Obviously, this kind of triangle, I have seen it in many of the business people horoscopes. I mean, many people palm tree. For some people, it looks deep, and for some people, it will look normal, but they won't be clearly visible during the childhood days of any person, mostly. Okay, that's why we use birth horoscope charts. The birth horoscope charts will be able to tell about these kind of luck which favors in a horoscope than in the palmistry. But I have used it for a the validation purpose here. Um, so there is a lot of patterns like this, and every human is unique, and that's how the planetary sequence also works in every individual's horoscope. So basically, this triangle, um, what we have seen right now is a small triangle which is connecting things. There is another triangle which I'm also able to see in his hand, right? The situation around him will, this kind of triangle, right, will stimulate to get into business motives. Okay, when that business motives will arise is, when we start seeing such kind of, this triangle at a, it will look at a very light stage in a horoscope. It will look very light, and gradually it is going to, get deep and, closer, right? The situation around him will also gently push or encourage him to get into those business avenues. uh, and as you can see in this triangle, uh, you know uh, is not only connected to the mind but also at the line of heart. So the line which we are seeing here is the line of the heart. Okay, and there are two triangles which we have discussed. So and how this triangle, the luck, is could be seen from the horoscope itself, from his date of birth horoscope itself, is from Lagna, the fifth house, one, two, three, four, five. The fifth house is Libra, The Lord of Libra is Venus. Again, I can see that Venus is placed in its own house, pretty well placed. And Saturn, which is the exalted Saturn, is joining together Libra. Saturn is the friend of Venus, and Sun is getting debilitated in this house. So, now fifth house being occupied by an exalted Saturn and Venus is really adding a lot of luck to this horoscope, which we will be discussing, right, when this luck is going to favor and all these things we will be able to talk when we are going to discuss on his Dasha system, right, which I have given here, right? Okay. So his palm, right, what we can see right now on his palm is the next one, which is quite important here, right? So now look into this his palm, right? I'm able to see this kind of pattern of M symbol that shows how luck is favoring the subject. He would be lucky compared to other people in the same business where he is, operating. They finally bring different pieces of business together. These kind of people bring different pieces of business together. For example, how they are going to do it is something which we have to reference to the Dasha system to understand. It can be by acquiring companies, acquiring his competitors, destroying the enemies, winning litigation cases, etc., which is going against him. So his challenging times would be during the Ketu Buddhi. Ketu Buddhi, the why I am mentioning about Ketu Buddhi is because Ketu is placed in 12th. Materialistically, in a materialistic life, Ketu in 12th is not good. It is going to lead to a lot of expenses and all these things. We can see it as a very clear reference, right? The Mercury, like I said, is placed in a very strong position. It represents an intellect. Between 1955 and 1975, which is till his age of 20, the childhood period, right? He should be an intellect. He should be doing, very well in his studies. um, Mercury, which is joining with Mars, is obviously going to make a person to be a little bit mischievous. But surely he's going to be an intellect kind of person. That's pretty sure about. But since 1975 to 1982 is, the age of 20 to 27 is, I feel that it's a bad and tough times which he would have gone through, both in terms of health, as well as in terms of the expenses that he makes. And obviously I could see that he has registered Microsoft as an organization during that time. Starting a company and running it and bringing it to a level is not such an easy, and he has gone through that tough and bad times during this time is what my thought process is. And if we can go beyond this to see, right, at the 1982, the Venus Dasha, like I said before, Venus is in his own house, and getting placed in fifth house adds a lot of luck. And between 1982 to 2002, right, his age is between 27 to 47, where life turning points happen for him, right? Obviously that's the time where his wealth creation has happened. See, I see the Venus and Saturn, right? Both are well placed in fifth house, adding luck to him. And the next house, which is the sixth house, the house of enemies, is occupied by Rahu. Rahu getting placed in sixth house is one of the best things a person used to have, because it helps him to fight. Rahu is a malefic, and malefic getting placed in 6, 8, or 12. It's really 6, 8 as well as in 11 is really a very excellent stuff, because it is having it, Rahu, a malefic planet such as Rahu in sixth house, helps the individual to fight the enemies. Okay, And the time between the age of 27 to 47, and exactly at the age of 36 is where his popularity really would have started. Why I'm mentioning as 36 is because what you're seeing here is the Ashtaka Varga chart of a horoscope, and the Lagna has a point of 36, right? The Lagna, the self, the person, it is having the value of 36, and I feel that 36 is the age when he would have become self-popular, very much self-popular, and his horoscope has started working in a very active manner from that space. Is my perspective. It may be earlier also, but I stick with 36. I go with my astrological principles. Uh, you know, so his Lagna Lord, like I said, is Mercury exalted in fourth, and it joins with Mars, which is a very important thing because primarily this is a intellect horoscope. A lot of people will be born in Gemini Lagna. A lot of such people will be having Mercury exalted, but having a combination of Mercury and Mars together getting placed in Virgo is such a great combination, which plays a lot of role in his childhood decisions. Okay. And who invests his mind and then takes the decisions via rare and creative avenues to create the Microsoft kind of business, right? Uh, then the other thing is the third house is being occupied by Jupiter, like you see here, right? One, two, and three. The third house is the Leo, the leadership house, okay, and the next house is with Mercury and Mars. But one thing which I'm seeing is the Jupiter in Leo has has no planets before it. This house, almost 30 degrees, I mean, the house of Cancer is empty. So, though he has a good technology leadership, I feel that he may not become fit for a supervisory type of roles at any levels. But it's needless to say that Mercury and Jupiter placement gives him an excellent intellect and wisdom and makes it a priority across his lifetime. Then his fifth house is Libra, like I mentioned, and Venus is placed in his own house and is joined by the exalted Saturn, which we have already discussed here. The same house has also been occupied by Sun, which is debilitated. Yeah. So the Ketu as well as Sun Dasha are not the excellent time for him. And if you look at just before, just during 2000, when Venus Dasha Ketu Buddhi was operating for him, he left Microsoft. I mean, he handed over the leadership position which he was holding with Microsoft, and he moved away, which is just before the starting of Sun Dasha. Sun as a Dasha, which is debilitated as well, uh, will create a lot of ego problems, relationship issues with his partners. When I say partners, it's not just only the business partners, even with the life partner, kind of problems would be there. And I feel that he has overcome all those things. Okay, being an intellect, a visionary person, right? He has taken, he has given that position, and this business acumen has moved away. That's my thought process, which is for 7 years, right? The Sun Dasha. And then comes the Moon Dasha, which we are seeing between 53 and 63. Moon being placed in 10th is creating a lot of imagination, okay, imaginative, visionary things which he wants to do, okay, and he has moved more into philanthropic related things. And during all these times, he has built Microsoft stepped down and started, contributing to the social cause. Mercury that joins Mars, right? The Mercury, the Lord of one as well as four, joins Mars. Mars is, the Lord of sixth, right? The Lord of Scorpio, okay, as well as the Lord of 11, okay, the House of Prophets, okay. So Mercury joins Mars with 1, 1, 4, 6, as well as 11th house. Okay, it connects the subject with his mother, the fourth house. Creative employees, which is, why I'm saying creative employees is because Rahu in sixth. Rahu is, kind of a materialistic planet. Um, but the kind of, yeah, the engineers do a lot of reverse engineering. Okay, why I'm mentioning reverse engineering here as a word here is because all these planets which we are seeing here go in a clockwise direction, but Rahu and Ketu are the planets which goes in reverse. I feel that getting Rahu in the sixth house is, going to make, the his employees, okay, his organization staff, to do a lot of reverse engineering kind of stuff. It's my perspective which I'm sharing here, and that's how he is. And I think during 2001 and closer to that period, he handed over Microsoft to the next CEO, so Steve Ballmer. And but Rahu in sixth position got the subject Bill Gates to overcome his enemies, win the market competition with the support from his creative employees. Okay, and that's something which is pretty important stuff. And it helps, the Rahu helps to overcome the enemies. Okay, and the Saturn that represents the profession is exalted, and Venus is in his own house, which represents money, and Rahu helps in the hyper growth. All these things work in alignment. Next to next, they are placed, and that helps him. Okay, the Mercury and Mars together, that the knowledge which is applied during the Venus Dasha, okay, which goes through this Saturn and Rahu, the profession, really helps him to be a business gambler whose wealth is accumulated in Venus Dasha, like I said, and the next Dasha, the debilitated Sun, and the Moon sign, Moon Dasha, right? All these things really has helped him to grow a lot. And this is one of the important stuff which we had to see from a billionaire's horoscope perspective. Um, and usually these kind of people, you know, um, these kind of people won't be social enough, okay, going friendly with the social group and all these things. They always like a privacy a lot. They build a limited circle of friends, with the like-minded people who share the same kind of vision, because Moon is all about the dreams, and they like to work with the identical people, mostly, to spend their time on that perspective. And if we try to put around in a place where they don't like the context, right, they shy around and try to, you know move away, or stay very low at that place. But the Moon, which is placed in 10th house, as well as the 12th house having a value of around 30, makes me to tell that this person is going to have a very disturbed sleep across his lifetime, not just in the childhood or not during the time of the business, but across his lifetime, because their minds is always in search of something. It doesn't sleep. Okay, and but they are happy doing this. They are always um, happy with what they are doing. And coming to this wealth perspective, which is at the 12th as well as the 11th, I could see that it's a pretty expensive horoscope. He makes a lot of expenses, either it is at the childhood or during the time of doing business or even at this time. And obviously, philanthropy, people who are into philanthropy, doing a lot of donations, their 12th house, the house of expense, is going to be very high because what they are earning is going to give, they are giving it away. Um, and obviously such kind of people which having a you know big number in 12th house, whereas the 11th house is lesser than that, tells that these kind of people are not good in handling the money properly. Okay, but if we look at the earnings that he made during Venus Dasha between 1982 to 2002, and during the Sandasha, that is 2002 to 2008, is getting multiplied. Does it mean that he is a good investor? He knows where to invest. Obviously, he knows how the industry will move on and where I need to do and make fortune and all these things. But still, if you ask me whether he is a good person who can make a good profit from the horoscope perspective, I would say no. His The profits are really less compared to the bets that he has made by himself, in my opinion. And he is not certainly a money-minded person. His horoscope is certainly been this person. The wealth of this person is backed by some of the financial people who is assisting him on how to diversify his accumulated wealth especially during the Venus as well as the Sun Dasha. Such 11th house is aspected by Venus, Saturn, Sun in 7th aspect and Jupiter in the ninth aspect. So, such a financial people, maybe his friends, right? His friends, it comes from his friend circle, Mars. Okay, Mars Dasha is operating right now. We can see that here, right? 2018 to 2025, Mars Dasha is operating, and I feel that this horoscope, should be, assisted by his friends or some close contacts, could be even his family members, including his wife. Um, but despite the, the diverse news which I'm hearing in the media, I feel that this horoscope should be blessed with a nice family and friends around him. But some bad time which is playing, obviously sixth, the dasha of sixth house, right? So, like I said, sixth is house of enemies. Okay, a lot of people whom you know within the circle will also turn into your enemies, or you will enter into a lot of confrontation. Okay, because we are discussing about the Mars, right? Mars is the sixth house, one, two, three, four, five, six. The sixth lord, right? The lord of sixth is Mars. That dasha is operating between 2018 to 2025. And the important thing which you have to see is the place during the birth of Bill Gates, Rahu is placed here, and right now, this year, when this his relationship issues, divorce news is coming, I could see this Ketu is being placed here, exactly at the degree of where Rahu is being placed. Okay, that is something which has created some kind of some kind of you know. conflicts, and but the bad time which is running has caused this separation. But this is a very nice horoscope which I could see, and obviously I feel that they would reunite again after some point of time. I suspect that could happen, and it would be good, you know. Um, So at present, Bill Gates, like I said, is running on the Mars Dasha since, and it goes till 2025. And lot of things which I have discussed as of now is all about his past as well as the present, things. But let's also, I just wanted to also look at the future, what is there. Pretty bit curious about what is things which is going to come out of this intellect, you know. He is Rahu delivers the material aspects, materialistic aspects, which is placed in the, Mars house. Mars in fourth with Mercury is going to be profitable for his profession on what he is doing. Um, and but not maybe for his family life, because sixth lord has gone to fourth. So the sixth lord going to fourth is good for the materialistic pattern. Why I'm saying is the sixth house is the 11th house. Sorry, the fourth house is the 11th house for the sixth house. So if you count this is the house of Mercury. From here, if you look at, if you come in reverse, this is 12th. From here, this is the 12th house and this is the 11th house. This planet is being placed in the 11th house. Okay, a lot of 6 is in 4, which means the 11th. Okay, and that's obviously a profitable thing, and the Mars Dasha is obviously a profitable subject to this horoscope, in spite of what things he's doing right now. Excuse me. And I see that he is destined to receive one of the important things which I want to cover here is between 2018 to 2025, between the age of 63 to 70. I see that he will receive a lifetime recognition, some of the prestigious award for his lifetime contribution would be received. If I look very deep into his Mars Dasha, I feel that between 2022 to 2023, as well as between, if it is missing out, right, between 2024 to 2025, I see that there is some prestigious award, sort of a, kind of a lifetime recognition will be received, by this person. Um, why I feel that this is possible is there is another rare combination in this horoscope. The Gemini Lagna person, okay, is will get Mars in sixth. Okay, for Gemini Lagna, the sixth lord is Mars. Okay, and as per the Tamil Nadi astrology and Kalapurusha Tattvam, Mercury becomes the natural sixth lord. So if you count from Aries, which is the natural house, natural zodiac sign, the first natural zodiac sign from this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This house belongs to Mercury. So from his lagna, the sixth, as well as from the natural horoscopic pattern of thing, Mercury, both these things together joins up here, right? So it represents the sixth lord, okay, and the sixth means the sixth karaka, obviously means is the recognition could come from the intellectual works and his workmanship in the field of labor, health, wellness, medicines, etc. Through these areas, he might be receiving a lifetime recognition, which I'm providing as a timing between 2022 to 23 or 24 to 25. Okay, hence, this is what I see, which is going to upcome. And this certainly he will be receiving a lifetime recognition for what he has been doing and his contribution to the social services, uh, run by the Melinda Gates Foundation. And such indication is rarely found in many horoscopes uh, in that I could find in Bill Gates' horoscope. So that's the thing, and like I am able to tell here, right? The planets, when placed in the right space, makes it a great horoscope. In turn, such people become a popular personality in the society. But giving back to the society, that makes him a great personality, which is very much evident in this horoscope. And between the age of 74 and between 78, he could become very silent, is what which I'm seeing, where the Rahu Dasha is been operating, and he will be more cautious on his health perspective, which I would probably like to say at a very high level at this point of time. Overall, in this horoscope, I could see that there are several yogas found in this horoscope, and several planetary combinations, which I have discussed obviously with you in through this video, right, is found in this horoscope. But one thing which is bringing all these things together, is the Dasha period. Uh, but the Dasha period related to those yogas and planetary combinations has to happen in the right age, which rarely happens to many of the horoscopes. But you know, that's where the luck happens for Bill Gates here. The the right Dasha, like Venus Dasha, happens at the exactly at the stage when his profession is kicking up. Similarly, Mercury Dasha is something which is about the education, which operates exactly at the time of his childhood. And Mars Dasha, which is coming up at the later stage of his life, indicates that he's going to receive his lifetime recognition, and especially the Mars and Mercury combination, which I mentioned, plays a predominant role. So here, I discussed about the fifth house with the exalted Saturn and the Venus Dasha operating at the right age. All these things together makes brings him the uh, the success in Microsoft business to finally become, to achieve. It's not finally; it's to achieve the billionaire status. That's a very excellent thing. We are proud that we are living at this point of time. Using his operating systems, a lot of softwares, and all these things, and obviously the PowerPoint presentation, which I'm giving here using the Microsoft software products. So that's pretty much I would like to cover on this billionaires uh, horoscope review at this time. We'll soon come with another episode of billionaires horoscope dealing with a different personality. Um, and thank you, viewers, for jumping in and listening to my video with patience. For me personally, it has been a privilege reading horoscopes charts because it has been my passion since childhood, which has now become a kind of a profession to me, working with a lot of experienced people, and after looking into a lot of the experience, charts. Um, and I do a lot of I share a lot of free stuff, especially on the financial astrology and stock market astrology, predictions, giving predictions on stock market. In fact, I have predicted the 2020 crash, which is going to happen, and the upcoming crashes. What I do is I share my knowledge, whatever is possible, for free in my Facebook post, because I'm not much of a video person. I just post the text which I'm, time to time I feel when I'm analyzing the planetary transits. So If you feel that is really interesting to you, I would suggest you to follow me, follow my Facebook, as well as my Twitter. Uh, I would provide the link in this below this video. I have also attached some of my. I would also attach some of my predictions given about the global market conditions in the past, the corona third wave, and the Indian political scenarios on who's winning the elections. All these kind of things which I have done, so that you can take a look in those. Thank you, viewers, again for jumping in and listening to my video with patience. Thank you.